Hi there, guys. Well, I thought what we'd do today is we'd do a wee bit on some character work. You need to have a kind of good idea of what your character is like, and kind of a base idea of what they're going to be doing. So, for instance, it really depends on the kind of story that you're telling and how the character functions within that story. What do I mean by that? So, let's have an example of a story then. So, let's pick one that kind of everybody knows, everybody's kind of aware of. Let's say it's, Harry Potter. And I'm going to take a character from Harry Potter that, is not like one of the main characters. It's maybe a character that we don't normally follow the perspective of, but we could still write a story from their perspective because we probably know so much about the character. So let's say it's, for instance, Draco Malfoy. Okay, so Draco Malfoy, and what do we know about Draco Malfoy? What kind of makes Draco Malfoy who he is? Malfoy is bad because that's what his family wants. So it's kind of like, like they're like a bad influence on him, and it depends what stage in his overall journey I'm writing. If I'm writing right at the start, then probably he doesn't even know this, that like, his family is what motivates him to be, bad. He doesn't know that himself about himself. That's like a very very simply, I'm not trying too hard with that. It's just something very quick. Um but you get kind of where I'm coming from. At this point, Malfoy's just been bad. He's filled with this kind of prejudice against kind of Weasleys, as well as what he calls mudbloods, which are wizards who come from families who don't also have wizard powers. He sees these kind of people as inferior. Now the reason why he's kind of filled with this prejudice and this sort of feeling of superiority is because it's his family that's kind of instilled that in him, but he doesn't necessarily know that this is a bad thing. He just feels it, and that's the way that it is, and that is the point of this story. If I'm maybe writing a scene, then further down the line where Malfoy has to start to come to terms with that, then that's when you want to start thinking about, well, how do I let I create a situation in which he has that sort of emotional breakthrough of, oh, I've seen the error of my ways, and now I'm starting to come to terms with that, and change and go over that. Now the best way to do that is, if you want a character to change, and you should want a character to change, because that's a good kind of like thing to have in your story, is that things happen, and for when these things happen, then people have to change to kind of overcome them and things like that, difficulties, etc. That's quite rewarding for a reader, to experience that and to read that. What I would want then is for Malfoy to get into some sort of situation in which then he has to kind of come to terms with, the fact that he has these prejudices. He has to kind of overcome that to then, change as a person, stuff like that. Maybe something happens where the Weasleys save his life or something like that, and then, or Hermione saves his life or something, then maybe that makes him feel like, oh, actually these guys aren't so bad. So the sentence we have here, all right, if we're thinking about Draco's character and he's trying to evolve, this is what we've got. So Malfoy watches a stream of green energy cracked like lightning through the air, made its way straight to his heart. Schmarga beluga, said Hermione, and Malfoy watched the killing curse was blasted into a shower of energy and dissolved harmlessly in the air. Draco was stunned. He looked up at the mudblood as she held out her hand. Are you okay? She said. Yes, thank you. He grabbed her hand and she helped him to his feet. Draco had always considered her kind inferior wizards, barely any different than muggles. Seeing her ability to bat away the killing curse, there was no denying her strength as a wizard. He wasn't even sure he would be able to do that. Right. Something simple. He's giving her a wee bit of props. He's like, oh wow, I always thought you know, you couldn't be a wizard, or like you weren't good wizards because of where you come from. Now I'm seeing, oh, maybe that was wrong because I don't even think I could have done that. And that's him. You know, you maybe don't want to immediately just have him being like, oh my god, I was so wrong. Everything I thought was wrong. My prejudices are wrong. Like, if you're too quick for a character to make that change, then it doesn't seem genuine. I think what you need is like it's almost unsaid in a way. You're kind of just, you know, setting things up like this where, you know, maybe saying, you know, maybe that's a bit too on the nose, saying, oh, I always thought this and blah blah blah. But it's just to give a kind of example, you know. Again, it comes back to that kind of subtlety. You want these changes to be, you know, you want him maybe to think like, oh wow, you know, I thought this, but now I'm starting to think this, and just kind of set that up and play that out over a wee bit of time. You know, that's the thing, is like you want there to be changes in increments, and then for like, you know, that change in the way that he thinks or whatever to perhaps be, you know, almost unsaid in a way, and then for later down the line for like someone to call him out on that. So maybe, you know, he has a confrontation with his father because his father is the person that ultimately, you know, holds these kind of beliefs about, you know, they're superior to these other wizards and things like that, and because they're from like a wizarding family. So then maybe you would have a scene where, you know, his father's like, Malfoy, what are you doing? You know, after a while, you know, he's been hanging out with, he's kind of teamed up a bit with Hermione and stuff like that. They're all going and doing their things. I know this doesn't actually happen in the books, or, you know, not to the same degree. This is just me making something up in an established universe, because then we know what the characters are and things like that. But yeah, if he's then kind of teaming up with them and they're doing their stuff, and then their father's like, oh, you know, what are you doing hanging about with like these mudbloods and blah blah blah, and then he's like, you know what, Dad, these mudbloods, you know, they've shown me more kindness than you've ever shown me, and you know, they're there for me and they support me, and they're, you know, I think she's stronger than even you are, and blah blah. And then maybe his dad's like beats him up, like, I don't know, but not literally beats him up, but like with his wizarding powers is like, smugly blugly, and like, and then like, you know, beats him up. And then, you know, that's when Hermione steps in, and then Hermione, you know, even though she's a mudblood, then beats up the kind of father, and kind of gets some justice for Malfoy, in that way. And then that kind of like that moment kind of solidifies their kind of relationship, and then kind of signals as well Malfoy's change from, you know, I held these prejudices, but now I've overcame that, and now, you know, I believe this. And that's the best way to think about it, is that like if you're spending too much time having a character being like, oh, I thought this and now I think this, and they're actually saying that out loud, that's not a great way to do that. Again, we come back to the show don't tell kind of, you know, motif. I think that's a good general rule, for this kind of thing as well. If you're trying to show the kind of change in a character, or whatever that is, then you want to do that through some sort of action. You want something to happen that actively shows that they've changed. So, and you don't want it to happen, as I said, straight away. You want maybe some moments like this where, you know, they're starting to kind of think differently. You know, or maybe you're not so bad, and then for that to all culminate or all reach a kind of climax that is, you know, the big thing, which is, you know, as I suggested there, you know, Malfoy kind of having to having to kind of battle his father, and battle those, you know, those bad kind of ideas that his father's put in his head, these kind of prejudiced ideas and things like that. So yeah, so I hope that kind of helps you. We're just talking there obviously about how to kind of show character change and things like that, and do that in a meaningful, good way in your writing. I hope that helps you. If you've got any further questions, be sure to put it on the page, and if there's anything else, then shoot us a wee message through there. All right, thanks very much. Thanks, bye.